And for more on the aid getting to the people of Gaza, we are joined by retired Lieutenant General Richard Newton. He's also NewsNation senior national security contributor. It's good to see you. Thank you for being here.
Good evening, Natasha. Good to be with you.
I do want to start with these new reports that up to 6 Chinese warships have been stationed in the Middle East over the past week amid rising tensions between Israel and Hamas, of course. What do you make of these reports?
Well, they're obviously valid reports. The Chinese have been modernizing their military, especially their sea power capabilities over the last several years. And not only are they trying to make a play for diplomatic, forces for their national security, but also now for military, and it's just thrown out by these 6 Chinese Navy warships that have now shown up in the Mideast. I'm sure they're there to make sure the world understands that the Chinese, they want to be a player on the world stage and certainly militarily in the Mideast. Also, perhaps a call for a slight challenge to the United States now that we've put the USS Gerald Ford Strike Group and now the Eisenhower Strike Group is en route. So this is, again, another page out of the Chinese playbook.
Yeah, you bring up a good point. How will this be viewed by the U.S., given that the U.S. also dispatched assets to that region?
Well, I think the U.S. Navy and our capabilities there are going to go about do our business. We've got, as I mentioned, those 2 carrier strike groups will be just off of the Israeli coastline there, and also there will be a amphibious readiness group en route, or it's already there, with 2,400 Marines who are capable of special operations. And then there's been a significant addition of United States Air Force firepower with F-35 strike fighters and F-15Es and A-10s and F-16s. But nonetheless, the fact that the Chinese are not only showing interest, but they're trying to make sure that on the world stage that they have a presence, during the crisis and so forth. And obviously they're behind Iran, and certainly Iran being the state sponsor terror of both Hezbollah as well as Hamas. So that's how things are starting to line up right now with the Chinese in waters nearby.
What should we expect in the coming days, given the increased U.S. presence in that region?
Well, first and foremost, you're going to see, obviously, with that 2nd carrier strike group, as I mentioned, that's steaming from the Western Mediterranean into the Eastern Mediterranean, will be really a clear, visible sign of U.S. capabilities to both deter and dissuade bad actors such as Hezbollah to the north in Lebanon, as well as perhaps even Iran and other adversaries in the region who may want to, perhaps take a strike at Israel and so forth. But it's significant that the United States is dispatching this really a significant armada of capabilities. It's fairly rare when we have 2 U.S. carrier strike groups in the same waters, but nonetheless, I think they'll be there for an extended period of time, especially as it appears, and we've been saying this for days, however, Natasha, that the Israeli Defense Forces are perhaps going to mount a counteroffensive. But I think you'll see the United States capabilities borne out by these Navy service-capable strike groups will be there for not only weeks, but perhaps a month or 2.
And we know there are 10 Americans unaccounted for in all of this, and Secretary Antony Blinken does believe a significant number of them are being held hostage by Hamas. Should the U.S. work to try to delay Israel's ground invasion so that negotiations can take place to free more hostages?
Well, there's lots of play back and forth. Certainly in other capitals, the United States is lining up in support of Israel, strongly in support of Israel. And if there's a last play, a last opportunity for a diplomatic resolution, I don't think there's going to be one, frankly, for the hostages. But nonetheless, but I don't think it's going to have a major impact on whether or not Prime Minister Netanyahu and his forces are going to conduct a counteroffensive into Gaza, because a couple things going on right now. They're waiting for conditions on the ground after the Israeli Air Force continues to pummel Hamas targets in Gaza, especially in Gaza City. They're waiting for clear intelligence reports as well as intelligence capabilities on the ground to understand where they can find, fix, and hopefully locate those hostages. And that intelligence in of itself, when they're trying to find these hostages and locate them, that intelligence, you have to act really lightning quick, because that intel can be rather fleeting. So I don't believe there are diplomatic tools, instruments of national power, if you will, going behind the scenes. But nonetheless, I think the key tool here that we need to pay close attention to is Israel mounting that counteroffensive and perhaps going across the line here fairly soon.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.